Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. I'm here today to give you just hopefully some good news. Um, it's our last really full day to work on your journal, and I'm hoping that means that quarter three is wrapping up pretty nicely for you all. I know a lot of people turned in their essays yesterday, and I've started looking into them, and they look good. So I felt like I needed today to just kind of go over a couple of things and make sure we're all on the same page. So right now, I have our calendar pulled up, and I'm hoping that you guys have seen this document and you've looked through a bit before. I'm going to keep this updated. I had a lot of kids tell me this worked well, and even more parents were happy with this. So this is something I plan to keep going however long we're doing this. But so if you pull up the document, you can see at the top, I might have just a few directions for you. So this one tells you to make sure you're checking that remote learning document. A lot of you told me yesterday that you were, but I think there's still a few of you that aren't. So I wanted to make sure that you are checking this document every single day, because this is what's going to lead you to all the links you could possibly need, any directions that I want to give you, any videos that I have for you. So you guys can see yesterday's is up now. So you can see my YouTube channel. You can see the week's calendar, which is what I just had pulled up. You can see the minute read for the day. And then, like yesterday, I wanted you to work on your essay. I gave the links to the Google Meet. So I just think this is really important. It shouldn't take you long to go through it, but it should be helpful, kind of almost as a checklist to make sure you're getting everything in every day. So that's that document. I just want to remind you of that. But what I wanted to really talk about today is this assignment here, your journal workday. So last week I had asked you all for just the input about, how many journals you had written and how many work days you needed. I would say the majority of you said that you had like at least 2 journals left to work on. So I wanted to make sure that we had that time. So I did build into our week schedule. You've got today to work on your journal, and then Thursday is another catch up day. Now, if you're behind on other things, you want to make sure you let Thursday be more than just your journal, because you want to get caught up. I'll talk about that in a minute too. But that's just kind of there to basically give you some time to get these things done. So our journal workday, that's what we're doing today. You've got 5 journal entries that you should have written at this point. So Friday was the last journal that was assigned to you. And then this coming Friday here, you guys can see, is when your journal is going to be due by the end of class. And I would like to start grading those this weekend. So I am hoping that we can really stick to that. So let's just look at the journals really quickly. So if you go to this link, and I'm not going to click on it because it'll take a while to pull up. I have it pulled up over here, but this is basically the document that it's going to bring you to. So weekly prompts and sample journals. So we had done a couple of the weeks before this even started. The majority of them were done ahead of time. So week 1, you were answering a question about character versus whatever. So my character was character versus self, but your character could have been character versus society, or it could have been character versus person. And you had to write to me why you felt that that was the type of character conflict in your book. So I gave you guys a sample, which you're welcome to use for help or just to get ideas each time. So that's the first one. Week 2 was a tough question that your character had to face. And again, you can see instead of a like paragraph for this one, you had to fill out a table. So there's the blank table here for you to fill out. And then here's my sample table. And if you go down, you'll see question 3 was about the villain or the antagonist in your book. And again, my sample. Week 4, this was the first one that you did on the remote learning. So definitely I want to make sure everyone had a chance to do that. So this is where you had to think about what type of person your character was in terms of how they reacted to conflict. So you could have had someone that was a teddy bear, someone that was a turtle, an owl, a shark, or a fox. This table here is just to tell you what all those different types are like. but your sample is not going to fill in the table. Your sample is just answering the question. So I said that my character fit the turtle the best. So this is why I said that she's a turtle. And then the last question, the one I gave on Friday, is about conflict and whether it brings your characters together or tears them apart. In my particular book, I said that the characters were driven apart by her conflict, and you can see my response there. So that's the 5 of them. I think I'll add a checklist to the calendar for tomorrow or for today for you guys so that you can kind of check off which ones you've done. So I feel like that might be helpful. So that'll be there for you so you can check them off and see what you've done or what you need to do. And that's really your goal for today's class, is to get that journal in tip-top shape. The other assignment that I have on the calendar is this Google form that some of you did on Monday and some of you might have saved for Tuesday, but it's really just a check-in. It's got a couple of questions about your essay. The peer edit question is going to be really helpful to me, because if your peer is someone that did the work, I want them to make sure they get credit. And sometimes if your comments were deleted, I can go back and find them, but if I don't know to look for them, I might not. So that's really helpful to your peer. This just talks about that remote learning document that I had up earlier and whether or not it's useful for you. I've had a few of you come to Google Meets, but the majority of you have not. So this is just a question about Google Meet and whether or not you've come and why. No judgment. And then the last question is just kind of how are you doing right now, and giving me some feedback on that. So hopefully that is something that can get accomplished as well. And I think that's really what we've got going on. You'll see that on the 1st, we're going to be starting our new unit, which is figurative language. And you'll see we'll do a couple of different pre-assessments for that to see where you are with understanding them and also writing about them. So you'll see that coming up soon. I'll be looking for you to find figurative language in your own songs that you listen to or in books that you're reading. So can I expect that stuff to start coming down? It'll be less of this long-term work that we've had for these first 3 weeks and more, day-to-day work, which I think will be nice to kind of keep in touch a little bit better. One other thing I just wanted to alert you to before I send you off is that the end of the quarter is a week from today. So that's why all this end of the quarter stuff is coming up right now. I know it feels kind of strange that we're ending the quarter and starting a new quarter remotely, but as far as I know, that's what's happening. So I want to make sure that we're all in really good shape. So this is a good time, if your journals are caught up, to go back, look at PowerSchool, see what's missing, see what things maybe just in the transition between regular learning and remote learning could have gotten misplaced or not turned in, so that we can iron all those details out. You guys worked really hard this quarter, and I wanted to reflect that. So I think that's it. Please contact me, join a Google Meet today if you have any questions, if you don't understand one of the journals, if you're struggling. That's what I'm here for. I've enjoyed talking to those of you that have come into the meetings, and I continue to look forward to them. So have a great day. Work hard. Show me all your thoughts about your books. I can't wait to see them. I miss you all. Bye.